أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما أيها الإخوة في الله والأخوات السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. You're welcome to this new section. This is a new topic which is very much related to the previous one, and I believe you mastered the previous one. May Allah make it easy. So this is تصريف الفعل الثلاثي المجرد من الماضي إلى المضارع. So conjugation, how to conjugate الفعل الثلاثي المجرد. You can see we are still under what? الفعل الثلاثي المجرد. Our last topic was تصريف الفعل الثلاثي المجرد من الماضي إلى المضارع وإلى الأمر. So this topic is very much related to it. You can see it's still of the same template, still of the same topic, but the only difference there is that we do not have what إلى الأمر here, and you see the reason why we are not having إلى الأمر here. So we are looking at how to conjugate the thulaathy, the three-letter verb, the three-letter root verb من الماضي, from ماضي إلى المضارع, to مضارع, from ماضي to مضارع. The one we looked at last week, that one is just to teach us, to tell us how to form the mudoori from madi. That is bringing the process of forming the madi, the mudoori, the present tense verb from the past tense verb. The first step is for you to bring one of the mudoori letters and giving the fa al fi'l sukun, giving the lam al fi'l dumma, and giving the ainu al fi'l, the sign that is related to the nature of the verb, either fatha, kasra, or dumma. But in this one, we are looking at how to conjugate the al-fi'l al-mudari also from madi, but here we are emphasizing on the ainul fi'l, on the what? Ainul fi'l alone. You know, the previous class we looked at the fi'l mudari generally and the fi'l amr generally, but here we are looking at the fi'l mudari, precisely the what? The ainul fi'l. The ainul fi'l. So that is just the difference between this class and the previous class. You can see how related the topics are. So as you are being taught now, you are being given the material now. Make sure you go through them. You try to see the differences and similarities between them. That is what will enable you to understand the topic, the course very well. So that is what we are looking at today. تصريف الفعل الثلاثي المجرد من الماضي إلى المضارع. نعم. So تصريف still the same thing. So للفعل الثلاثي المجرد ثلاثة أوزان في الماضي. You've known this already, that الفعل الثلاثي للفعل sorry, this is للفعل not للفعل, is a mistake. للفعل الثلاثي المجرد, for three-lettered root verb, ثلاثة أوزان, there is what? There is three templates. That is, three-lettered root verb has how many templates? Three templates, as we've been taught before. Fi madi, but precisely the one you've taught before is only in what? In madi, the past tense verb, al-fi'l al-madi. The template of the three-letter root verb that we've been taught before in al-mujarrad and al-mazid. The topic is al-mujarrad and al-mazid. So the 3-letter root verb templates that will be taught before, which are how many? Which are 3, salasa. Which are 3, they are precisely for moody. So now, الفعل الثلاثي المجرد ثلاثة أوزان في ماضيه. The 3-letter root verb has 3 templates in moody, in its past tense template. So let's in its past tense. So let's see the templates. The first one is what? The first one is fa'ala. Fa'ala, like doraba, jalasa, kataba, arafa, nazala, wa'ada, and so on and so forth. So we also have fa'ila. We have fa'ila like fariha, la'iba, marido, hamira, sawida, atisha, and so on and so forth. And lastly, we have what? We have fa'ula. That one is koruba, ba'unda, jamula, and so on and so forth. You can see in Madi, all these verbs now, all these three verbs, they are what? They are in Madi. They are af'alun madiyah. Madi. Fi'l Madi. So they are fi'l Madi. I hope you get that. So fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. They are all Madi and they are 3. So now let's look at it in when these 3 root letter, these 3 lettered verb. Let's look at how the template is going to change. How many are the templates when it moves, when it goes to what? To mudoori. So don't forget, this is what? This is for its madi alone. So let's go. له ستة أبواب في مضارعه. So this الفعل الثلاثي المجرد we're talking about, له, it has. This who is going to what? Is going to mean the الفعل الثلاثي. الفعل الثلاثي المجرد. So له, it has ستة أبواب. It has 6 faces. It has 6 sections. That is, it has 6 templates. Precise, it has what? 6 templates. You know, in Madi has 3 templates. So this one has 3 templates. In Mudoori, Mudoori has 3 templates. So when we are conjugating that 3 templates in Madi, when we are conjugating it to Mudoori, it's going to have 6 templates. It's not going to be 3 again. That fa'ala alone will have other 3 templates. Fa'ala will have 2 and fa'ala will have 1. We are still going to look at that. But just know that in Madi it has 3 templates and in Mudoori it has what? 6 templates. Is that taken? So يجمعها هذا البيت. يجمعها هذا البيت, which this poem هذا البيت, which this poem يجمعها is assembling, is combining them together. So this poem we are about to recite now is collecting all these 6 templates together. So when you know the poem, you already know the template. So this poem we want to look at now, you have to memorize it. Is the key to this topic. Is the key to this. So once you memorize that poem and you're able to recollect when you need it, then you have your template with you. So let's look at that. We have Fathu Kasrin, Fathu Dommin, Fathatan, Kasru Fathin, Kasru Kasrin, Dummatan. Very simple. Very, very simple. Fathu Kasrin, Fathu Dommin, Fathatan, Kasru Fathin, Kasru Kasrin, Dummatan. So we have it as Fathu Kasrin, Fathu Dommin, Fathatani, kasiru fatihin, kasiru kasirin, domatani. Fatihu kasirin, fatihu domi, fatihatani. Kasiru fatihin, kasiru kasirin, domatani. So that is the poem. I hope it sounds somehow to you. It sounds somehow, but we are still going to look at the logic behind it. So here we have fatha, here you have kasra, fatha, duma, fathatan, fatha, fatha, kasru, fathin, I'm sorry, this one is kasr, kasra, fatha, kasra, kasra, duma, duma. So let me just brief here before we go to the next slide. What this thing is all about now is a brief of the what of the template of the fi'l thulaathy in mudori. So the fi'l thulaathy in mudori has the possibility of coming in what in 6 different ways. Sitat abwab, 6 different ways. And what changes? The only thing that change there is what is the ainul fi'l. The ainul fi'l. You know we have fa'ala, fa'ala, whether fa'ala or fa'ila or fa'ula. Okay, do let me do that. Let me do it this way. We have fa, we have ain, we have lam. So and in mudori we have yef, we have ain, we have and we have lam. So what we are looking at here is what is precisely about this ainul fi'l in madi and in what and in mudori. So when we say fathu kesri, what we are saying is what this madi verb taking fatha and this mudori verb taking kesra. Fathu do mean this madi verb taking fatha and this mudori verb taking dhamma. That fathu do mean. Fathatan, it means what? This madi verb taking fatha and this ainul fi'l of the mudori verb also taking what? Fatha. That's fathatan, fatha, two fatha. So here in kesru fathin, this madi, the ainul fi'l of the madi taking kesra and the ainul fi'l of the mudari taking fatha. That is kesru fathin. Then kesru kesrin, the ainul fi'l of the madi and mudari taking kesra. So kesra. Though and dummatan, the ainul fi'l of the madi and the mudari also taking what? Dumma, because we have dummatan, that is what? Two dumma. Dumma in madi and dumma in mud. I hope you understand what all these poem depicts. It sounds somehow fatah keso dumma. What is that? So that is what they use to represent. They use it to represent these things. We are still going to look at that, inshallah. So in the next slide, let's see what all these templates are all about. So share. So the explanation of that template. Even without me explaining, you should have gotten some insight about what what those templates are all about. It's just about ainul fi'l, where the ainul fi'l we take fatha, where it will take dhamma, where it will take kesra. So that is just all what is all about. So for you to understand better, let's move further. So fathu kesrin, as I said earlier, fathu kesrin is depicting something. Is it stands to represent something. That is the ainul fi'l of this one is the first one is for the madi, the past tense verb, and the second one is for the what? Is for the mudoori. It's for the mudoori. So it's now depicting what? It's depicting fa'ala yaf'ilu. Can you see how simple it is? So fa'ala yaf'ilu. So you can see this. The fa'ala is what? Is a moody verb. Fa'ala, and this one is what? Is the mudoori verb. So we are now basing on the ainu fi'l. We are concentrating more on what? On the ainu fi'l here. So here the ainu fi'l is taking fatha. You can see it's in different color. The ainu fi'l is taking fatha because we have fatihu kesirin, and in mudoori is taking kesra because it's what? Fatihu kesirin. That is what we mean by what fatihu kesirin. So it means bifathi ainul fi'l fil madi, by giving the ainul fi'l, that is this ainul fi'l, by giving it fatha, the fatha, this is fatha in madi, in its madi. You know, this is madi. We give the ainul fi'l fatha in madi, wa kasriha fil mudoori, and we give it kasra. This is the kasra, that is the ainul fi'l also. We give it kasra in mudoori, and this is the mudoori. So that is that. So now let's look at the example. We have a lot of verbs, a lot of what? Of verbs under this what? Under this template, under this fathu kasri, under this fathu kasri. So we have fa'ala yaf'ilu, fa'ala yaf'ilu. You just look at the verbs that will come under this template that are what? That are fa'ala yaf'ilu. You know, I've mentioned to you earlier that you cannot decide the ainul fi'l of any verb except you know the nature of the verb. Whether the nature of the verb is to take fatha, or the nature of the verb is to take kasra, or the nature of the verb is to take what? Is to take dhamma. So by yourself, you cannot determine the ainul fi'l of a verb except what? You confirm from the dictionary, or you might have known it before. That one is, you know, fataha yaftahu, they are common because whether that's because they are common, or you are very familiar with it. Maybe people say it around you, so that is how you got your own. Or there are different ways to get it, but the one that is most advisable for the student is to confirm it in the dictionary. So when you confirm it in the dictionary, you won't have to confirm it again when you need it, and you won't have to be determining the ainul fi'l yourself. So once you've gotten it from the dictionary. So for the fa'ala yaf'ilu, let's look at the examples. So example now, the madi and the mudoori, we have what? Doraba. Doraba. You can see doraba comes with what? Fa'ala. Doraba comes with what? Fa'ala. And the nature of the ainul fi'l of doraba in mudoori is what? Kasra. Yadribu. So it goes with that what? Yadribu. It goes with what? Fa'ala yaf'ilu. Doraba yadribu. Fa'ala yaf'ilu. Doraba yadribu. Is that taking? There are a lot of verbs under this template. So let's look at another one. We have jalasa yajlisu. You can see fa'ala yaf'ilu. That's what? Fathu kasri. So these verbs now, these two verbs, they are under what? They are under the template of what? Fa'ala yaf'ilu, which is otherwise called what? Fatihu kasri. Fa'ala yaf'ilu, fatihu kasri. So daraba yadribu, jalasa yajlisu. Let's go another one. We have nazala yanzilu. Nazala yanzilu. I hope you've gotten that. Fa'ala yaf'ilu, daraba yadribu, jalasa yajlisu, nazala yanzilu. So fatihu kasri. That is that. So I want you to observe something here. What we done in the previous class. You can see the mudoori. You give the what? You come with one of the ahruf al-mudoori. Yeah? We come with what? With our ya, which is one of the ainu. Then we give what? We give the fa'ul fin, which is this dot, this jim, and this nun. We give them sukun. ثم تضم لام الفعل, and the lam al-fi'l here is what? Is the ba, is the sin, and the lam. So we give these ones, we give them dhamma. So we now give this ainu al-fi'l, depending, we give it kasra, because the nature of the verb, of these verbs, of this jalasa, katab, jalasa, daraba, and nazala, the nature of the verbs is to take what? Is to take kasra in mudari. The ainu al-fi'l is to take kasra. So that's why it's very, very simple. Just follow the process. I know this ainu al-fi'l is technical. That is why we made it a topic on its own. So that is that. Let's look at another template, which is fathu domain. Fathu domain. Without me explaining this, you should know in mudari, in madi rather, madi will take what? Madi will take fatha, and mudari will take what? Dhamma. Madi fatha, mudari dhamma, and that should be what? That should be fa'ala yaf'ulu. You can see the madi is taking fatha and the mudari is taking dhamma in the ain al-fi'l. Fa'ala yaf'ulu, fathu dhammi. So if I'm saying fathu dhammi, you should know what I'm referring to. And if I'm saying fa'ala yaf'ulu, you should know what I'm referring to. They both mean the same thing. This one is just depicting what? The template itself. So let's look at the explanation on this. بفتح عين الفعل في الماضي, by giving the عين الفعل الماضي كفتحة وضمها في المضارع, and giving the عين الفعل ضمة in what? In مضارع. So let's look at the examples under this also. We have كتب يكتب. You can see فعل يفعل. So this verb now is under what? It's under the fa'ala yaf'ulu. It's under the fathu dhammi. Kataba yaktubu. Kataba yaktubu. So we have that. We have other one which is sajada yasjudu. Sajada yasjudu. We have darosa yadrusu. Darosa yadrusu. So I also have to mention to you that all these templates, they are not just there. It's by research you can be able to categorize each verb under its own category. It's by research you can be able to what? To categorize each verb under its own category by knowing the ainu al-fi'l. Is when you know the ainu al-fi'l of darosa in mudari that you can be able to put it under this fa'ala yaf'ulu. Had it been you don't know darosa is yadrusu, you cannot be able to put it under this template, under this fa'ala yaf'ulu. It's after you've determined that this ainu al-fi'l is fatha, is dhamma, then you put it under fathu dhammi. After you determine that this ainu al-fi'l is fatha in mudari, and in madi is fa'ala, is also fatha, then you're able to put it under what? Under fathu, fathin. That is fathatan. I hope you get what I explain now. So you cannot just determine putting it under any template you like. No. You must have determined the ainu al-fi'l, the nature of the verb, before going ahead to put it under its category. So let's look at another one. You know, we have 6 now, and this is the third one we want to look at now. We've done 2, this is the third one. We still have other 3 left. So we have fathatan. Fathatan, this is what? Double fatha. Fathu, fathin. It's supposed to be what? Fathu, fathin. But because of the poem, and to give it to make it look a little bit different, so that's why is what is fathatan. That is what? Fatihu, fathin. That is fatha in both madi and mudari, and that should be what? That should be fa'ala yaf'alu. Fatha in madi and fatha in mudari. Fa'ala yaf'alu. So بفتح عين الفعل في الماضي والمضارع, by giving the ainu al-fi'l fatha in both madi and mudari. both madi and mudoori. So let's look at the example under this one. We have fataha yaftahu. Fataha yaftahu under the template of what? Fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala yaf'alu. Fataha yaftahu. So we have another one. We have zara'a yazra'u. Just be taking note of the ainu fi'l. The haraka, the sign that is taking, be taking note of them is very important. That is just what we are looking at. That's why it's written in what, in another color aside from the normal general color. So fataha yaftahu, zara'a yazra'u. We have mana'a also, mana'a yamna'u. So all these verbs now, they are what? They are fathatan verbs. That is fathu fathin. That is fa'ala yaf'alu. Fa'ala yaf'alu. So let's look at the fourth one. So far so good. We've looked at the possible outcome. So we've looked at all the possible outcome of what? Of fa'ala. All the possible outcome of fa'ala. That is fa'ala. We have fathu kesirin. That is fa'ala yaf'ilu. Taking kesra. Fa'ala yaf'ulu. Taking dhamma. And what? Fa'ala yaf'alu. Taking fatha. That is fatihu kesirin, fatihu domin, fathatani. So I hope you get that. So taking fatha in madi and taking fatha. So the possible outcome out of the 6 templates in mudoori, the 3-letter root verb is having in mudoori. So fa'ala has taken what? Has taken 3 there, which are what? Which are yaf'alu, yaf'ilu. Yaf'ilu, yaf'ulu, yaf'alu. You can arrange it anyhow. So yaf'alu, yaf'ilu, yaf'ulu. Anyhow you like, you can arrange. But basically it's just that fa'ala in mudoori has the 3 possible outcome, which are with kasra, with dhamma, and with fatha. So we want to look at the one of fa'ila. So let me just break this down once and for all. So the one of fa'ila has two possible outcome. Two possible what? Outcome, and they are yaf'ilu and what? Yaf'alu. Yaf'ilu. This is yaf'ilu and yaf'alu. That's what that is fatihu kesiru fatihin, this fatha, and kesiru kesirin, this is the kesra. Then domatani, and the last one is what? Doma. That is fa'ula, which has only one outcome. Fa'ula. Only one. So yaf'ulu, fa'ula, yaf'ulu. So we have fatihu kesirin, fatihu domin, fatihatani, kesiru fatihin, kesiru kesirin, domatani. So that is how it is. You can see we have 6 now. We have 3 here. Here we have 2, and here we have 1. That is the 6. That is the 6 what? The 6 template. So I want to explain something very technical in this fa'ila that we are about to do now. In this fa'ila that we are about to I'm about to explain now. I want to very be attentive. So fa'ila has two outcome, right? Fa'ila, it has what? Yaf'ilu and it has yaf'alu. So this fa'ila, yaf'ilu, we have only 13 verbs for it. How many verbs? 13 verbs. We have only 13 verbs for fa'ila, yaf'ilu. Okay, let me erase so that I can be able to explain well. So I said okay, fa'ila. So we have two outcome, which is what? Yaf'ilu and what? Yaf'alu. You know, I've explained the fa'ala part, which has three templates: fa'ala, yaf'alu, yaf'ilu, yaf'ulu. But now I want to explain the fa'ila on its own. Any verb that you see that is what? That is fa'ila, without you confirming the mudoori, the ainu of the mudoori in the dictionary, without you, I want to give you a shortcut, without you confirming the nature of the verb in the dictionary, whether it's going to take fatha in ainu fil, taking kesra, taking dhamma, I want to give you a shortcut to it. And that shortcut is that one eliminate what? Yaf'ulu. You know, the outcome is only what? Fa'ila yaf'alu. And yaf'ulu is what? Yaf'ulu is nowhere to be found in fa'ila. Yaf'ulu is nowhere to be found. This one is what? You have to minus this, because it's nowhere to be found in what? In fa'ila. So the outcome of fa'ila having what? The possibility of fa'ila becoming yaf'ulu in mudoori is 0. So it's not possible for us to have fa'ila yaf'ulu. It's only possible for us to have what? Fa'ila yaf'ilu and fa'ila yaf'alu. Definitely, any verb you see as fa'ila, like fariha, marido, la'iba, sawida, hamira, and so on and so forth, any verb that you see under this fa'ila template has only two what? Possible outcome. And these two possible outcome are yaf'ilu and what? Yaf'alu. Yaf'ilu and yaf'alu. So another exception, another thing I want to mention, you know, I've mentioned that firstly you have to eliminate the outcome of the fa'ila having yaf'ulu in mudoori. This one is not possible. And also this yaf'ilu, this fa'ila yaf'ilu is fa'ila yaf'ilu, it has only 13 templates. Only how many templates? Only how many verbs? We have only 13 verbs. 13 af'al, 13 verbs under fa'ila yaf'ilu. Is countable. Is what? Is countable. And you have to memorize these 13 verbs so that you can be able to determine the what? All the fa'ila outcome. Any fa'ila you see, you will know it mudoori. Any fa'ila at all, as in any fa'ila at all, you know it mudoori. That is when you memorize the what? The 13 kesrotan verb, 13 kesru kesrin verb. Are you following? Firstly, you cannot see fa'ila yaf'ulu, so any fa'ila you see cannot be yaf'ulu. Secondly, the fa'ila yaf'ilu that we have is countable. All the verbs that are fa'ila yaf'ilu that we have in this word, this whole word, they are what? They are countable. and they are how many? They are only 13. They are only 13. So that 13 verbs, you have to do what? You have to memorize them. You have to memorize them. So now you have an assignment. You have an assignment. The assignment is for you to go and look for the 13 verbs. The 13 verbs, that is what? That is fa'ila in moody and yaf'ilu in mudoori'. You can ask people, you can Google it, you can make research. I don't care, but just bring the 13 verbs for me. And if you do it, it's going to help you a lot, because the outcome of you knowing the 13 verb is going to land here in the yaf'alu. So where I'm going is that any verb that is fa'ila and not under this yaf'ilu, and not under these 13 verbs, and and is not among the 13 verbs, definitely the verb is what? The verb is yaf'alu. All other verb aside the one that is the 13 kesrotan verb, all other verbs, they are what? They are yaf'alu. Because it's not possible for us to have yaf'ilu. We cannot have yaf'ilu in mudoori' in fa'ila, and the yaf'ilu is countable, is just 13. So once you know the 13 verbs, any other verb that you see under this that is fa'ila is what? Is yaf'alu, is going to be in mudoori'. As simple as that. I hope you understand the logic. It's just a simple logic. Fa'ila has no yaf'alu, and the yaf'ilu is what? Is countable, which is 13. So when you know the 13, and any verb you see which is fa'ila and is not among the 13 verbs, is definitely surely going to be what? Surely going to be yaf'alu. Surely going to be yaf'alu. So let's look at that. So that is just the basic. So also I have to mention that the fa'ala that we did just now, that I just finished explaining now, that one is very technical than this. Is the most technical aspect of fa'ala, of the conjugation. Fa'ala, it has 3 possible outcomes which you can never know. Though we still have some other explanations, we still have it, but just know that fa'ala is technical, and you have to confirm the ainu fi'l always. You have to always confirm the ainu fi'l. Inshallah, after this class, I'm going to bring some tips that can enable you get the ainu fi'l without checking the dictionary. But for a level, just know you have to confirm the ainu fi'l of the especially fa'ala. And fa'ila, once you know the logic I gave now, once you know it and understand it very well, definitely you have no problem with fa'ila. You have no problem with fa'ila. And fa'ula, that one is just straightforward. Fa'ula only have one outcome, which is what? Yaf'ulu. We are still going to look at that. So let's see how this kesrotan will look like. I said it's 13, and you should go and provide the 13 verbs for me. It's an assignment for you. So which you have to submit latest on Sunday. I have to get it latest on Sunday. So try to do it and submit this for your sake. It's not for my sake. So let's look at the kesrotan. That is kesru kesri. It's actually not written kesrotan in the poem, because of how it comes. It's not written, but ordinarily you should know is what is kesrotan. To kesru kesri. So this thing is what? Fa'ila yaf'ilu. Fa'ila yaf'ilu. بكسر عين الفين في الماضي والمضارع. by giving the ainu al-fi'l kasra in madi, in both madi and mudori. In both madi, you can see this is the ainu, this is ainu al-fi'l madi, and also in mudori. So I said earlier that the verb has only what, how many templates? Has 13 templates. 30. So out of 30 templates, I will give you 3 now. We see the 3. Then you need to go and look for the remaining 10 for me. Remaining 10. So when you know these 13 verbs, it will enable you to automatically know the other, the kasru fathi, because it has two possible outcome, and you already know the first all the verbs in the, or under the first outcome. Then any other verb that you don't know that is fa'ila is definitely going to be under the second outcome. So let's look at the example. We have warisa, warisa, yerisu. Warisa, yerisu. You are supposed to ask me a question here, that where is the foul thing? That is this wa. This wa is the foul thing. And we said yerisu instead of yaorisu. This verb is a weak verb. You can see wow is there. It's a weak verb. And conjugating a weak verb is quite different from conjugating a strong verb. So the one we've been saying before, jalasa, nasara, sajada, they are all what? They are all strong verbs. So this is a weak verb, and I don't want to dwell into that so that it won't be lost. So you are going to expatiate more on this weak verb and strong verb in the next level. That is level 4, inshallah. So we have warisa here. Just know warisa mudori is what? Yerisu. So we also have, you can see fa'ila f'ilu, that is kesrotan. Fa'ila f'ilu, warisa yerisu, wamiko yemiku, wari'an yari'un. You can see it comes the same way. We are eliminating this wa because of the illa that is there, because of the kind of verb, the nature of the verb. We are eliminating the wa in mudori. So all these verbs are under what? The kesrotan. Fa'ila f'ilu, warisa yerisu, wamiko yemiku, wari'an yari'un. So they are all kesrotan verbs. So let's look at the kasru fathin. Kasru fathin, that is what? Fa'ila yaf'alu. Fa'ila yaf'alu. All the verbs under this one, you should know it already. You should know it. The verbs under this one are all the fa'ila verbs. All what? This is the formula. All fa'ila, fa'ila, all fa'ila minus the 13, minus the what? 13 fa'ila yaf'ulu. Minus the fa'ila yaf'ulu, that is kesrotan. So it's going to give you this. Any fa'ila verb that you see, once the fa'ila is not under the 13 fa'ila yaf'ulu that you know, that is the kesrotan, the previous ones, the previous one I just explained now, the kesru kesri I just explained now. So once it's not under this, definitely is going to be this, and this one is uncountable. You cannot count fa'ila yaf'alu, but you already know it, because once it's not fa'ila yaf'alu, it should be what? Fa'ila yaf'alu. That is the logic. So let's move on. بكسر عين الفيل في الماضي وفتحها في المضارع. By giving the عين الفيل كسرة in ماضي, this is the كسرة, and giving it فتحة in مضارع, this is the فتحة. So the examples, we have Hamida. Hamida. Adibin, you know all the 13 fa'ila verb, you know Hamida is not part of it. So because Hamida is not part of the 13 kesrotan verbs, Hamida is not part of the 13 kesrotan verb, definitely it's going to be what? It's going to be Hamida Yahmadu. Hamida Yahmadu. You also have Fariha. Fariha is also, that is the reason why you have to memorize the 13. Once you know the 13, you'll be able to subtract the ones that are not part of the 13 verbs. I hope you get that. So you'll be able to subtract the ones that are not part of the 13 verbs. So we have Fariha, which is what? Yefrahu. Fariha Yefrahu. Is that the key? Fariha Yefrahu. So lastly we have Ta'iba. Ta'iba is also not part of the 13 verbs. Definitely is going to be what? Yet Abu. Fa'ila Yef'alu. Fa'ila Yef'alu. Hamida Yahmadu. Fariha Yefrahu. Ta'iba Yet Abu. Is that taken? That is that. So let's look at the last template. We have Dummatan. So you should know Dummatan is two Dumma, that is Dommu, Domme, that is two Dumma. So by giving the ainu fi'l Dumma in moody and also in mudori, that's Fa'ula Yef'ulu. Dumma, Fa'ula Yef'ulu. So بضم عين الفعل في الماضي والمضارع, by giving عين الفعل ضمة in ماضي and مضارع. So any verb that you see that is what, that is فعل, any فعل verb that you see is going to be what? يفعل in مضارع. Why? Because the outcome it has only one possible outcome, which is what? Which is يفعل. This is the simplest part of the template. The simplest. So we have fa'ula, any fa'ula verb, jamula, yajmulu, hasuna, yasunu, jabuna, yajbunu, shajuna, yajunu, yashju'un, ba'uda, yab'udu, qaruba, yakrubu, and so on and so on. Any fa'ula verb that you see, you should know is going to be what? Yef'ulu in mudori. Don't say yef'alu. Don't say yef'alu. It's not yef'alu. It's not yef'alu. Why? Because they are not part of its possible outcome. They are totally out of the context. It has only one possible outcome, which is what? Yef'ulu. Fa'ula yef'ulu. So let's look at the example. Jamula. That one is what? Yajmulu. That is it. Yajmulu, because it's Dummatan. Any verb that has Dumma in Madi, like Jamula, is going to take what? Dumma in Mudori. So that we have Yajmulu. So you cannot see Yajmulu, you cannot see Yajmilu. Never. And so on. Any verb. So we have Hasuna is going to be what? It's going to be what? Yahsunu. You have Ba'uda is going to be what? Yebu'udu. So this is the simplest part of the template. Simplest part of the template, because it has only one possible outcome. And also Fa'ula is the simplest. Fa'ula is simplest. So also Fa'ila is also very, very simple. Very, very simple. By what I explained, by memorizing the 13 Fa'ila, the 13 Kesrotan verb. So I believe you've gotten the logic. So it's very simple. Fa'ula is simple. Fa'ila is simple. They are both straightforward. They are both very, very simple. So in the case of Fa'ala, this is where the problem lies. Fa'ala, it has three possible outcomes. Ordinarily, in this, ainul fi'l has three possible. It cannot take sukun, right? Ainul fi'l cannot take sukun. It can only take fatha, kasra, dhamma. And this three possible outcome is what Fa'ala has in mudori. So that is what makes it technical. So I just want to explain. I want to give you a clue on getting Fa'ala. I'm done with this. with these two. I said they are both simple. I'm done with it. So I forgot to explain something under the fa'ala. Under the fa'ala yaf'alu. Before we call it a day, I just want to quickly run through this. Fa'ala yaf'alu. So the clue is that any fa'ala verb that you see, that is having harful halik, that is ainul fi'l or lamul fi'l. Don't forget, I said what? Ainul fi'l 1 or lamul fi'l 2. Any of the two places in ainul fi'l or lamul fi'l is having harful halki. Huruful halki in tajweed is how many? Is how many huruful halki? Huruful halk. So the letters that come out of the throat, that you pronounce it through the throat. It comes out from the throat like ha, ha. You can see it come from the throat. So they are what? They are 6. We have hamza. We have ha, kha. We have ain. We have gain, and we have ha. So we have a, ha, ka, a, ga, ha. So they are what? They are huruf al-halq. So if you are good in tajweed, you should already be familiar with these. So they are called huruf al-halq. Akhiha ka ilman hazahu ghayru khasir. So I don't want to go into that. That is tajweed. But what we need here in morphology is that any of these huruf al-halq, any of these letters that comes out of the throat, if any of them is in this ainul fi'l or this lamul fi'l, if any of them is in the ainul fi'l position or the lamul fi'l position, whether fa'ala or ainul fi'l position, so any of them is going to be yaf'alu in mudori. It's going to be what? Yaf'alu in mudori, except for some exceptional cases. We have some exceptional cases, that some verbs that are very stubborn, that they don't yield to measurement. So now we are measuring it. Like when you see this, the outcome is going to be this. When you see this, the outcome is going to be this. So when you see harful halki in ainul fi'l of a verb or fa'ala, or the lamul fi'l of fa'ala, any of the position, either the ainul fi'l position or the lamul fi'l position, when you see harful halki there, definitely the outcome, definitely the verb itself in mudori will be what? Will be yaf'alu. Yaf'alu. So let's see some examples. We have fataha. Fataha is what? Yaftahu. Don't mind my writing. We have fataha yaftahu. We have qara'a. Qara'a. Can see this is the ha. The ha is here. It is in the lamul fi'l position. That is why this one is taking fatha. Yaftahu. We also have alif hamza in the lamul fi'l position also. You can see is also what? Yaqra'u. Yaqra'u. It's taking fatha in the ainu fi'l. Yaqra'u. We have a lot. We have mana'a. We have yamna'u. We have zara'a. We have yazra'u. We have samaha. Is what? Yasmahu. And a lot of them. So this is the logic of getting the fathatan, the fathu fathin, is that once you see the ainul fi'l having either having huruf al-halki or the lam al-fi'l having huruf al-halki. Definitely the what? The mudori is going to be what? Is going to be yaf'alu. I hope you know some uh sure banker templates. One of the sure banker templates is what? Fa'ula yaf'ulu. One of the sure banker templates is what? Fa'ila yaf'ilu. That is Kesrotan. There are 13. That one is also a sure banker. One of the sure banker is what? Fa'ila yaf'alu. Once you eliminate the 13 templates, the remaining fa'ila is what? Yaf'alu. So that one is also sure. And one of it is the fathatan. The fathatan is also sure by measuring the what? The huruf al-halq is also sure, very sure. And other ones also have some things we can use to know them, but they are very technical, not for your level. But the ones you know now, make sure you take care of them, practice them. When you see any verb, try to make research about them. Even without making research, if you apply these techniques I've given you, you are going to know the mudoori of a lot of verbs. You are going to know the mudoori of what? A lot of verbs. So make sure you practice a lot. Practice. Go into the Al-Quran. There are a lot of verbs there. Look at them. Conjugate verb from moody to mudoori, and also you can conjugate mudoori verb back to their moody. Back to their what? To their moody. If I ask you what is the moody, what is the mudoori? Oh, sorry. Okay, it's possible, but not for a level. Let me just leave that, not for a level, because we still have some things to consider. So I don't believe you understand morphology until you are able to analyze verbs for me. That is when I will know, wow, this guy is a sorfi. He's a sorrowful man. He's a sorfi. I hope you get that. So until you are able to analyze sorrow for me, that this verb cannot be yaf'ulu. Okay, for example, let me analyze morido. Okay, we've used morido. Let me analyze hamira. Hamira means to be read. So when something is read, now you can say hamira al-kitab. Hamira al-kitab. The book is read. So, or the book was run, things like that. So hamira is a final verb, right? If I want to analyze this verb, I can say hamira in mudoori. Changing this hamira to mudoori, it cannot be yahmuru. It cannot be yahmuru. So you eliminate this. I'm analyzing it though. It cannot be yahmuru. Why can't it be yahmuru? It cannot be yahmuru because the hamira has no possible outcome of what? Yaf'ulu. It cannot be yahmuru. Another reason why, okay, let's say, can it be yahmiru? Can it be yahmiru? It cannot be yahmiru. You cannot decide that except you have already mastered the what? The kesrotan. If you say hamira yahmiru, definitely you are saying the hamira is part of the kesrotan. You are giving it kesro. Definitely is part of the kesro. But hamira is not part of the kesrotan. Definitely it can't be yahmiru because it's not part of the kesrotan. And it remains only one possible outcome with it, which is what? Yahmoru. And that is the correct answer. Hamira Yahmoru. And this is correct. Hamira Yahmoru is correct. You can see I analyze it. It cannot be this because it cannot be this because it can be this because. So if you cannot analyze solve for me like this, then definitely you don't know solve to me. You just have to understand some basics, and you are free. You are good to go. So I want to take this topic very, very serious. Very, very what? Very, very serious. Very, very serious. I don't have much time because I've used 1 hour already, and if I keep analyzing, I hope you will uh, agree with me that if you don't know how to analyze itself, definitely you don't know anything. Just make sure you analyze any verb you see and try to analyze it. Is this thing taking fatine or boring? Why is it taking doma? I hope you get. So, and you can also, okay, let me leave that. So let's stop there, inshallah. We continue in the next class, which is also a related topic to this. You can see we are all the topics are is getting wider, and if you are following from the crash, you should be able to catch up immediately. Now you should be enjoying morphology. You should be enjoying it if really you are participating strictly. You are following the classes strictly. You should be enjoying solve by now. If by now you are not enjoying it, definitely you have to go back. You have to go back from this crash. Go and engage yourself with the lessons again. By now you should be enjoying it, and we are still moving to more technical aspect. Watch out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.